Everyone likes to have a little bit of relaxation at the local cabaret.
Well, well. See, the crew's been hard at work. Not bad.
No, not all.
But I thought a boudoir would be right in line with your tastes.
Oh, you chose it. Well, I'm not saying it's bad, just different. Not exactly what I'd envisaged.
Yeah,
For a cabaret. What about Rotlick? Did you get the placards?
Rotlick said he'd bring them on his own. Should be here soon.
Great! The best way I can think of to promote the chameleon.
alright.
Never mentioned wanting to change the name.
Rosemary and Thyme wasn't all bad, but it conjured images of Temerian cuisine served by waitresses in peasant garb. Chameleon's a lot better for a cabaret, apart from which it emphasizes that the place has undergone a transformation. Just a better ring to it all round.
Alright, bro.
What about choreography? Prepared anything special for the opening?
We haven't. But Polly has. She's priceless. Came in and brought the girls in line before I could say knickers. Premier will have the audience on their feet, on their knees, both at the same time.
That's good. Hope we get to see that.
Guess everything's ready. So when's the opening?
Soon. We start our dress rehearsal in an hour. I just need to nip back home for my dress.
Thanks for everything.
Don't mention it.
Seems my cabaret dreams are about to come true. So, around to celebrate? I'm buying.
Sounds cool.
Why not?
That's my boy.
Guy likes his wine.
The foreman mentioned he saw you and Priscilla talking.
He's all right.
And she say anything about me?
She said something that made me think she's not entirely normal.
What?
That you're responsible, got your feet planted firmly on the ground.
You're pulling my leg.
Not this time.
He's taking a big, deep gulp of wine
One
for
thing's
that.
eating me. How do you manage to get the loan from Sophronia?
Is that with her?
Ugh, wasn't easy. She got so excited about our performance, I had to read to her for 4 hours. 4 hours from the Cloak and the Dagger.
Wow.
I mean, you didn't...
Are you crazy? Who do you think I am?
Take another glass of wine. Well, maybe that, you know, he didn't do it. Maybe it wasn't 4 hours of the Cloak and Dagger after all. Maybe it was a different type of Cloak and Dagger.
She's late, of course. She knew how important this night was to me.
Of course she did. Probably just making herself gorgeous. Takes time.
So it's true. A woman's vanity knows no bounds.
Master Dandelion! Priscilla, she's...
What?
What? Speak, man.
She's badly, been attacked. They took her to Vulmerius Hospital.
Attacked? She's hurt? Geralt, come with me, please.
Of course.
Everyone else
Let's go.
alright. Sounds like we're in for a bit of vengeance before we start our Assassin's Quest. Sounds good to me.
Gods. Priscilla. Is she gonna live?
I'd say that's certain. Her condition's critical but stable.
Oh,
Beg your pardon, but you are a relative?
husband.
Relative? No, a friend. A very close friend.
Dandelion, correct? She uttered the name in her few moments of lucidity. I am Joachim von Gratz, head of surgery. Until recently...
Besides her eye.
A concussion, cranial swelling, incision into her larynx, and scalding inside the throat and esophagus. Clearly someone forced her to imbibe a caustic fluid.
My God.
So this was no ordinary attack, no robbery.
Clearly not. It was the act of a demented mind, and not its first.
How can you know that?
I've seen wounds like this. They're not the kind one would forget, don't you agree? In fact, just this week a corpse turned up in the morgue with similar injuries. And no heart.
No heart? You mean that might have happened to Priscilla? Is someone looking into this?
Yes, we
This
are.
is Novigrad. Only the innocent burn here.
Oh, I
Gareth,
like the joke.
I know I owe you 100 times over, but I need to ask you another favor. Find the bastard who did this. Find him. And kill him.
Don't need any convincing. Come on, Dandelion. Let's think about what we can do.
I would suggest examining the previous victim's corpse. It has yet to be autopsied. Doing so could very well provide some clues. No need to look astonished, gentlemen. As a surgeon, I know the importance of preventive medicine. Rather than wait for this maniac to strike again, I'd prefer to excise him. Not unlike a tumor.
Sounds good.
Great analogy, but this tumor's not gonna sit there, wait to be excised. Appreciate the help, but I doubt you know what you're getting yourself into.
I know perfectly well, and I assure you I can take care of myself.
Easy
Right.
assurance to make, harder to back up, especially if you've spent your whole life wielding a scalpel, not a sword.
Look at this scar. Don't be shy. Any idea what leaves such a mark?
A flail. Morningstar, maybe.
What do you think? A blow sustained at the operating table? No?
Looks like this guy
Think
was
they'll
a
let
war
me into the
surgeon.
morgue?
By the main entrance, certainly not. But you can also get
The sewers. Travel the...
as often as required for the pursuit of preventive medicine.
Alternative treatments. Aggressive ones, I'm guessing. Interesting.
We can discuss this en route. Are you ready?
Yeah, I guess we are.
I'll get whoever did this, Dandelion.
Thanks.
Hopefully it's not the head of the Eternal Fire, which is what he's just said. Hopefully he's not running around pouring acid down people's throats and ripping out hearts.
You lead.
Guy looks a bit like Watson, doesn't he?
So,
What's
preventive
with the
medicine
doctor?
you practice in the sewers. What's that about?
Think. Sewing up drowner victims can grow awfully tedious. Is it not better to nip the problem in the bud? I tried to get the temple guard to enter the sewers, alas, to no avail. So I took... Hear that?
Been hearing it for a while. Draw your weapon.
Let's go deal with this. Oh, they're level 6. Pretty strong these ones. Too easy, yeah. What, hang around the corner? Her treasure's worth it. Yeah, just get the same crap from those guys.
How you like that silver?
Easily dealt with.
Lost. Where to now? Up.
Yes, it's not far now.
Priscilla. How's it look? Give it to me straight. No sugarcoating.
Her wounds will heal, but it's her voice that concerns me. Surely you understand what a terrible blow that would be to her trobreeds. Enough to strip her of the will to live.
Any remedy for
She might have. She had a beautiful voice, and she might now no longer be able to sing. That's what he says. She might still be able to play though.
Take the ladder.
Not sing.
This is the place. Come, the quicker we take care of this, the better.
Why? Got somewhere to be?
Someone might disturb us. The coroner, for example. Or Reverend Nathaniel Pastodi. Very well. We seek the corpse of a dwarven woodcarver.
There's so much alcohol in this game. It's the way out. Oh, this is the morgue way. I'm guessing the other doors, this one's locked. Oop. Oh, so these, yeah, okay, everywhere's morgue.
But of course. Yes? What is it?
Looks like necrophages got to this one.
Is a woman?
Human. Wrong body type.
She's not in this room. The room we almost entered.
But of course. Yes? What is it?
How's the basketballs, eh?
Calluses on the fingers, sawdust in the beard, clothes sticky with sap. Must be our dwarf.
Excellent. I trust you don't grow weak in the knees at the sight of blood.
Not a bit. Start the autopsy.
Where?
Genitals.
His genitals. We ought to inspect those.
I sincerely doubt they bear any relation to the matter.
We'll see.
We'll see. Pull down his trousers and... shit.
Syphilis, actually. Early stages. No sign of diffusion.
Think there could be a connection?
Only as the killer's potential motivation.
Oh wow. Okay, so it's gonna be head probably.
Let's look at his head. Hair smells like it's burnt. Like he was in a fire.
Notice anything else? That his eyes have been scooped out, for instance?
See this? Incision made into the voice box.
Indeed, so thin as to be nearly unnoticeable.
A small, extremely sharp instrument. Scalpel.
But why? The wound is too small to bleed, and there are signs of swelling. The murderer... I believe he performed a tracheotomy, so the victim wouldn't die too soon.
Interesting.
Those burn marks I see in his eye sockets.
Yes, and some grey dust. Ash, it seems. Very fine.
Murderer gouged out his eyes, then put burning coals in the sockets.
So it seems. Looking at the wounds, it appears our woodcarver was still alive when it happened.
My God.
Let's examine the mouth. Burns, blisters.
Just like Priscilla's.
Also got him with acid.
Let's examine his torso.
What have we here? Deep wound on the left side of his rib cage, and a scar the length of his stomach.
Open the abdominal cavity.
Due warning, it will stink of rot.
Once fought a Zoogle up to my waist in sewage, so I doubt... Wait. Smells not rot.
Formaldehyde. A medical novelty. Heavily diluted, it's remarkable at preserving organic tissue. In stronger proportions, it's more destructive than acid.
Explains why there's no smell of decay, and why his throat's scalded.
We're dealing with a medical expert here.
Look at the scar. Wounds long and thin, an incision, but the edges are ragged.
Means nothing. Look, no swelling, no bruises. An old injury, perhaps an accident in the workplace.
Let's examine the chest wound. Yeah, heart carved out, wound cauterized.
Wait a minute, there's something else.
Replacement? Is that a bug?
An egg from an amphibian. A salamander? Scorched but intact.
I attended some lectures in herpetology as a student. Afraid I don't recall any amphibians that would lay eggs in corpses. So either Professor Cochrane was deeply mistaken, or this is our murderer's doing.
Why stick an egg in it?
Look at his hands. These welts. Rope burns, right? He was tied up.
I'd expect so. No one could sit through such torture unless bound.
Speaking from experience.
Yes, that of a victim.
See the callus? Our dwarf wore a ring, but someone took it off him.
What we got left? Legs?
See anything interesting on his legs?
His right foot. The ankle swollen, toenails broken. He clearly kicked something very hard. Right before he kicked the bucket.
Oh,
Doesn't strike me as the right time for jokes.
Apologies. We surgeons, we've a different sensibility.
Pick your jokes where you find
And a
them.
different sense of humor. Alright, think I know enough.
Enlighten me, please, because I've still no notion what this is about. What the motive might have been.
Ritual murder, punishment. Acid. No motive, just a mad murderer. Could it be a ritual murder? It doesn't really have the semblance of a ritual murder. There's not really a punishment either.
It's some kind of sick ritual. You saw it. Burns in the eye sockets, cavity where the heart should be, scalding liquid, all centering on warmth, heat, fire.
A fire eternal.
It's a lead worth following. Any idea what his name was?
Fabian Meyer.
Oh shit.
And I'm Hubert Reich, the coroner. I've come to perform the autopsy, but I see you've done it for me, Joachim. As always, you interfere where you're neither needed nor wanted, drag others into trouble in the process. Who is this?
A student. Lifelong learner. Got a couple questions for you.
Very well, speak. But be quick. Reverend Nathaniel has come by for an inspection. He'll be here shortly.
You old friends?
Hubert taught me the rudiments of medicine. Long ago.
And not very well. You've still not mastered certain basic principles. For example, that a doctor's role is to treat the ill, not save the world.
You've not changed a bit.
A compliment?
No, a statement of fact. 30 years, and you've not changed a bit.
How comes like the guy who's saying he's my master?
Woodcarver's body.
Why
Where
is
was
the
it
human
found?
holder?
It's important.
Plan to investigate? Exciting. He died in his workshop south of the market square, just beside the gate to Far Corners. That poor Trebirates was attacked there. City's abuzz about it. But the woodcarver, Eustace the corpse collector, brought us the body. You should speak to him. Saw him just around the corner near... Oh, greetings, your reverence.
Who are these people?
Oh, hello.
I believe I made it clear no one's to be allowed in under any circumstances.
You did, but they're friends of the deceased. Here to collect the body.
Out of the question. Show them out at once.
As your reverence wishes. Gentlemen, follow me. You shall leave via another route.
Now I know we should have taken more crap while we're here.
Why'd you cover for us?
I was covering my own arse. If Reverend Nathaniel had learned someone had entered the morgue, then cut open a corpse without his permission, I'd be in deep trouble. But you didn't give that a thought, did you, Joachim? As ever. Well, while I don't approve of your willfulness, I also wish to see this murderer hang. So, should I learn anything new related to this case, I will let you know.
Thank you.
That Rowan's a shifty old fella.
Nathaniel. Who is he?
A scoundrel. A rogue. Like every man who wears the robes of the Eternal Fire.
Most are scoundrels before they ever put on the robes.
True in his case as well. Before he donned the frock, Nathaniel was a torturer. Delighted especially in torturing women. Later, Hierarch Hemmelfart appointed him to oversee the morgue. He deals with the temple guard, supervises cremations, conducts funeral masses in the temple on the Isle, and so forth.
Dream job. Might have told me you know the coroner. We could have skipped the trip through the sewers.
I know him, thus I avoid him. I've said enough.
Right.
Don't aim to press you.
Thank you. I've nothing to hide. It's just an old wound. Unhealed as yet. What will you do now?
Plenty of leads. Woodcarver's workshop, the corpse collector who found him, alley where Priscilla was attacked. Got work to do.
As do I. At the hospital. I must return there. But I shall keep my fingers crossed.
And I'll keep my eye on you.
Please say the coroner thing remains open. Right, let's go investigate the rest of that area. Yes. Literally a gold mine of, well, not the dead. So the treasure's what we're coming for. Right, I think this is about everything in this Dead Man's Wonderland.
What was it happened to Foltest again?
Oh!
Poor little
Oh shit.
Monsters must have run.
You, Eustace, the corpse collector?
Aye? How'd you know?
Fourth sense, I think it is. You bring Fabian Meyer's body to the morgue?
Fabian. Oh, yeah, I remember. No eyes, no heart, one of them, right? No purse neither, as I recall.
Yeah.
One of them? So there have been other bodies like that?
Sure have. Beggars, street urchins, and street walkers.
I feel like this quest's gonna
One
take up
went
a
so
lot of our
poorly,
time.
I had to cut her into pieces to fit her in me wheelbarrow. Slippery sow, they called her, on account of her.
Some things are best left unsaid. What happened to the pieces?
What do you mean? Reverend Nathaniel ordered them burned. Every last one. Oh, shame that was.
Shame? Why? Actually, never mind. Another thing that's best left unsaid. You searched Fabian's body?
Well, I cast an eye in his pockets. Made sure nothing went to waste.
I call a spade a spade. You rob corpses.
And I call a prick a prick. It's none of your fucking concern. What, you a tax collector? Piss off, mutant.
Talk. What did you find on him?
I had you wish. triflings, baubles, glass-beaded ring, handful of coins, and a letter. Look, vellum, quality parchment that. I'll wipe off the writing and sell it as new.
That's human skin.
Oh, shit.
Priscilla. Next victim's name. If you'd given this to the right person, she might not have been hurt.
What the fuck do I care what happens to some Priscilla? We short of wenches in this town.
Get out of my sight. Now.
No point hitting the guy. End of the day, he still kept the thing.
Help the poor bloke out.
Guess we're checking both spots.
How you go with this? Ah!
To lead this city somehow.
Anyone home?
Begone, or I'll set me hounds on you. Molly, Striga, come!
Relax. I'm here about Fabian Meyer, looking for his killer.
That's altogether different. Sit your stupid mutts, lie down. Come on, go on in. Slowly now, lest they bite you.
Charming as beasts go.
You daft? Even I'm scared of them. A better barking dog than an evil man at your door.
Got someone particular in mind?
Sure as shite. Bugger who did Fabian in. Soon as they'd hauled his corpse off, I run to a mate who raised his fighting dogs. Bought these 2 mutts. Cost me a chunk of change. But I sleep sound at least.
Good to hear.
So who might you be?
The Stiff's brother. Gus is the name. We ran a workshop together. Meyer and Meyer.
What'll it be now? Just Meyer?
Name it. I'll be closing it down now. As soon as I find a buyer for this shack, I'll head on to Mahakam. Be near my family, or what's left of it. So, what do you want to know? What can I tell you about Fabian?
Your brother have any enemies? Anyone dislike him? Threaten him, maybe?
'Twas Fabian who threatened this one last. Oh, you were a good dwarven craftsman like no other, but you were an incorrigible whoremonger as well. Whenever we put a bit of coin aside, I'd say, let's buy some tools, quality timber. No, he grabbed the purse and head out whoring. Took to following one in particular. He'd say, "'Tis all your fault, dirty bitch, human dish rag." And other obscenities. Don't rightly know what that was about. Maybe he was in love with her.
Know where I can find her? This dish rag?
City cemetery. She died a few days back, quietly in her sleep. Her pont said a fever took her.
Your brother have any enemies? Anyone dislike him? Threaten him, maybe?
'Twas Fabian who threatened this one last. Oh, you were a good dwarven craftsman like no other, but you were an incorrigible whoremonger as well. Whenever
Alright.
took to following.
Know where I can...
Story.
City.
Tell me what you know.
'Twas like this. Had some work in Oxenford, and I was coming home. Saw a plume of smoke rising over the city. Thought to myself, blast it, gonna miss and burn another hag. But the smoke wasn't coming from Hierarch Square. It was coming from here. See the soot stains? That's where they burned our sculptures. Folk gathered round the blaze, and found Fabian here beside it. They'd already loaded him on the cart by the time I arrived.
Talk to your neighbors. They see anything suspicious beforehand? Hear anything?
Claim not to. But even if they had, they'd not have helped. In Novigrad, folk give bleating orphans in the street a wide berth so as not to stain their poor lanes. What do they care about some dwarf?
Better look again.
Fine. We've talked. Need to look around.
Mima.
Statues of the old gods. Nothing but women. Shapely ones. Murderer dragged something heavy. Dragged something across the floor. Statues. Or dragged it from one wall to the other. Mind if I go inside the workshop?
I've not even peeked inside since they found Fabian. But I'll open it for you if you want.
Everybody's so decent inside. Concerned citizen. This lot are usually the murderers type.
More blood stains, but not near enough to say he bled to death. Unless formaldehyde. Doubt Fabian used it. Furniture got knocked over. This looks like it was kicked.
That's where the kick comes from. Might have been tied to the chair. Thrown off.
Eyes. Humanoid. Completely rotten. Nothing interesting.
Aye.
Had a look at your sculptures.
And? Lifelike, aren't they?
Mm-hmm. The women especially. Never seen a bust that size on Molitale.
Oh, aye. Fabian's handiwork. I told him, brother, tits like that would crush her back. Whittle him down. He said, nay, they'd sell better this way. Told me to shut me trap. And sell they did. Till one sermon at the temple, and the celebrating reverend said that whoso buys idols from the non-human Myers sins twofold, as a heretic and as a lecher. That was the end of that.
Already know what happened. Fabian was in the workshop. Murderer attacked him there. They struggled. Fabian was overpowered, then tortured. For a time.
I needn't know the details. Truth be told, I hadn't the stomach for him.
When it was over, the murderer dragged Fabian to the courtyard, then made a pyre of sculptures, set them aflame.
But why? Why do all that?
To teach a lesson. To him, you, the whole city. Fine, we've talked enough. Won't learn anything else here. Take care.
So there is a strong sense of personal justice as well. So we can add to that.
Main's like,
oh, you make a fine sailor.
We take a wrong turn again.
What a monstrosity.
Oh!
Oh, someone's going down here.
Oi, Witcher! Coroner wants to see you. Been another victim. Told me to say the main door will be open for you. You're to come as soon as you can.
Ah.
Like a lot of money selling all this.
A brazier. This time of year?
Grab him!
Sis, that is.
I know that smell.
Watch him, see what he
Formaldehyde.
does.
Human. Priscilla's.
What's going on? For God's sake. Who are these people? Another old concerned citizen.
Man's footprint. The murderer's maybe. Weight on his heel. Took a step back. A brazier. This time of year? I know that smell. Formaldehyde.
So we've checked everything else out now.
Come closer. Don't be shy. You'll find I've everything. Arms for the poor. Spare a couple or two.
Welcome, Master Witcher.
Don't say it's that bloke, surgeon.
Geralt, right? I'm glad you're here. Held off on the autopsy till you arrived.
Nice of you. Especially given you didn't seem pleased about my previous visit.
Because you came unannounced and in unfortunate company. I also had Reverend Nathaniel to contend with. Our spiritual caretaker has left the city on some important matter. And I know who you are, what drives you. I'm more than happy to aid your investigation.
By the way, you and Von Gratz don't exactly get along. Why is that?
I had him sent to prison. You see, Joachim led the student protests in 1242, a senseless and brutal revolt. People were dying, Witcher. Those who rejected liberty, equality, and fraternity would be found in the gutter come morning. Their throats slit from ear to ear with surgical precision. Joachim had been my favorite student, but alas, I had to do something. So I reported him. Then I left the university and found work in the morgue, where none care about my past. Whereas Joachim, oh, fate's ironies. Years later, he was appointed head of the very ward I had founded.
How old's Von Gratz? 50? 60?
53, I believe. Why do you ask?
You look a little young to have been his teacher.
Not surprising. For years, I've lived in the cold and dark, breathing the vapors of embalming fluids. In short, working with corpses extends one's life. Music, is it not?
Who's the victim this time?
Joris Aquinas, a lecturer in theology at Oxenfurt Academy. Found this morning at his home on a catafalque made of his books.
Any titles in particular?
It seems all the tomes dealt with the eternal fire. Treatises critical of the faith's doctrines.
Yeah, mortal sin in Novigrad. Not fond of Nathaniel?
Very few people are. He's cruel and...
Sorry.
He stormed in
Don't
here
speak
once,
Russian,
grabbed a
please.
scalpel I was sterilizing over a burner, sliced my back with it to the bone, because I had forgotten to lock the storeroom. Hard to be fond of someone like that, wouldn't you agree?
Let's start.
Gladly. The wounds conform to the killer's modus operandi. The victim was bound and forced to drink formaldehyde. Next, the killer removed the eyes, placed burning coals in the sockets, then opened the rib cage and... What's this? A parchment. Made of human skin.
A message from the murderer. The name of his next victim. Patricia Vegelbud.
Do you know her?
Yes. Even went to her estate once with... Gotta find her, now.
With her husband. Wait, is that the... There's a door...
Till next
son,
time,
who's a witch, wizard... I think we are very suspicious now of that Nathaniel gentleman who decides to go on a trip to the countryside at right at the same time that the killer said he's going to hunt this lady.
Show us what you're bringing
Didn't think we'll get to see this house again.
What do you want?
Need to talk to Patricia Vegelbud.
You think any bum off the street can...
Her life's in danger. Let me in or have her blood on your hands.
If you thought this up, and I'll let you in, I'll throw my arse out the door.
Always thought a guard was supposed to protect his charge, not his ass.
So be it. I'll take you to Lady Vegelbud. Just no trickery. Understand?
Let's hope it's not too late.
Oh, Geralt, what a pleasant surprise.
Not pleasant at all. I gotta see your mother. Her life's in danger.
In danger? Come now, I saw Mother this morning. She seemed sad, true, but in perfect health.
I'm hunting a serial killer, and I've got reason to believe your mother will be his next victim.
Why, even if it's true, our guards...
He's exceptionally cruel when he kills, tortures his victims, cuts out their hearts. So let's see how she is, just in case.
I find this all very hard to believe, but you appear to be quite serious. Please, follow me.
I think we laid it on a bit too thickly there, a bit too much.
A fire fit for Bellatane, except it's the wrong time of year.
I mentioned Mother seemed sad. Do you remember? In fact, she's in the midst of a crisis of faith. A rather serious one. We'd been to Novigrad. Mother had seen the pyres in Hierarch Square, uttered not a word on our way home. She had all the holy books, insignias, reliquaries gathered, taken outside and burnt. Then she locked herself in her room.
We need to hurry.
Washed your hair lately? Oh!
Can't believe they're planning what to burn. You cannot miss this opportunity to ransack a person's house. How's
Hear
that?
that?
There's something going down.
Calm and quiet. All seems to be in order.
We should go in, just to be sure.
You're relentless, aren't you? Fine. But wait here, please. Mother's certainly not in the mood for guests.
Oh! He ran out the other door! Catch him!
Shit. Oh, wait, doggies.
Spread out! Murderer's still here! There he is! Get him!
Where's the murderer? Seriously, what the fuck happened?
Die, mutant!
Saw someone get killed.
I'll break your bones!
Must run clean across the garden then.
Come on!
Wounded and tired, Ciri collapsed in the swamp. Some peasants found her and took her to the Baron, Velen's self-appointed ruler. The warlord took the young woman in, had her nursed back to health, then sent her on her way to Novigrad.
What, no room robbing now?
You must sweat like a swine in that jacket.
Now I'll wait and see where this guy goes.
Spread out! Murderer's still here! Die, mutant!
I can only assume if he was running around out here. And he went into the garden. must have been somehow got into the maze.
Die, mutants!
Come on, come closer.
I guess we'll win this fight then.